An aircraft carrier is not just a ship at sea. It is a nation floating on steel and ambition. It sails like a message written across oceans, a message that says we are here, we matter, we are powerful. Each deck holds history, national ego, and silent threats. Where jets ignite into the sky, a country speaks without a single word.
Nuclear cores hum like bottled thunder.
Fighter wings fold like the flags they defend. In these moments, a carrier becomes more than a war machine. It becomes identity shaped in steel. France proved this when the Charles de Gaulle first sailed with nuclear heart alive. It was not built simply to join wars. It was built to tell Europe and the world that France stood tall among giants. One ship, one nation, one pride. Every Rafale launch became poetry rising through sea winds. Every returning jet wrote another line in unseen history. In the Indian Ocean, another symbol awakened, India's Vikrant. Born from local design and homegrown engineering, India said we can build our own arsenal. No longer dependent. No longer waiting. With a carrier of its own, India stepped into global waters not as follower, but challenger. Vikrant did not need a speech to prove this. Her hull spoke for her. Across the world, the United Kingdom watched its heritage of empire echo through waves. Queen Elizabeth rose like a cathedral of naval memory. The decks stretched wider than football fields. Each takeoff linked present strength to centuries of sea dominance. It was pride refitted for the modern age. Stealth fighters danced on deck like black arrows. The world remembered British power without being told. A carrier is a storyteller. It writes history with jet fuel, not ink. Aircraft carriers carry something more dangerous than missiles. They carry national emotion. A nation pours its dreams into hull plates, its fear into armor, its pride into the roar of engines at dawn. No speech can match the power of a carrier launch. Nations watch, rivals calculate. Allies breathe easier. This is why only select countries hold them. The cost is not only in billions but in spirit. A carrier requires disciplined technology and a vision that reaches beyond borders. A missile submarine hides. A destroyer patrols. But a carrier announces itself like a crown. Imagine standing on the deck at sunrise. The sea is endless. The world feels small beneath roaring turbines. A nuclear plant below radiates power like a second sun. The air smells of fuel and salt. Pilots walk with purpose, every movement rehearsed like ritual. In that moment you understand one truth: carriers are floating ceremonies. Nations invest in them for honor as much as defense. When France sends Charles de Gaulle into international waters, it is not simply deployment. It is declaration. When India sails Vikrant across the Indian Ocean, it is not routine. It is arrival. The United Kingdom with Queen Elizabeth sails not as relic but reborn titan. Yet pride alone is not enough. Carriers demand sacrifice. Training for pilots is relentless. A single mistake is catastrophe. Night landings feel like threading a needle in violent wind. History remembers those who fell short, but it celebrates those who master the sky. Back inside operations rooms, screens glow with hidden threat. Maps move like living things. Commanders speak in sharp decisions. One misjudgment can shift balance of oceans. This is what makes carriers symbols. They demand everything and give nations identity in return. The world sees a flag atop the tower, but that flag weighs more than cloth. It carries memory of wars lost and patriotism earned. It carries hope for peace. A carrier on horizon is both promise and warning. It can deliver aid or artillery, food or fire, diplomacy or dominance. That duality is what makes the world watch. Nations without carriers watch harder. They wonder if pride can be purchased or must be earned through steel and sacrifice. Some try to build their own. Some borrow. Some never attempt. Because an aircraft carrier is not built in shipyards first. It is built in national ambition. This competition of pride becomes silent theater at sea. A French carrier sails near Allied waters and cameras flash. An Indian carrier arrives at a joint exercise and headlines rise. A British carrier anchors near contested regions and diplomats whisper, "No cannon fired," yet the world shifts. This is soft power reinforced by steel. Influence measured in nautical miles, prestige scaled by tonnage. A carrier is a handshake and threat in the same shadow. But beneath grandeur lies vulnerability. Every nation that builds one also builds expectation. A carrier must move, must show presence. must justify its existence to watching world. And failure weighs heavier than metal itself. One reactor fall, one stalled aircraft, one accident at sea. And national pride cracks. Right now engines roar. Jets line the deck. Crews prepare for demonstration that will be seen across oceans. Journalists watch. Leaders monitor. A single launch will carry political weight equal to missiles. Yet something unexpected surfaces on radar. A signal neither friendly nor known. Across the operations deck tense silence falls. The sea is calm, but history is about to shift. The unknown signal hangs in the air like a question carved into the sea. No one speaks at first. The calm water below feels deceptive. The decks of 3 nations carry the weight of pride and the sudden weight of uncertainty. Charles de Gaulle. INS Vikrant. HMS Queen Elizabeth. Each ship receives the same faint echo. A signature that matches no friend and no enemy. It is too controlled to be accident. Too precise to be nature. The symbol of national power now faces a symbol of something unseen. In the operations room aboard Charles de Gaulle, officers lock eyes with unspoken tension. The nuclear heart of the ship hums like destiny in motion. Screens pulse with soft blue glows. One French analyst leans forward and enlarges the reading. The signal is moving in perfect rhythm. Not fast. Not slow. Exact. As if trying to be noticed but not understood. The entire room feels like it is inhaling. This moment is what defines nations. How they respond when pride is tested without warning. Far across the region, INS Vikrant receives the same message. Indian technicians adjust controls with smooth precision. They know the importance of this ship. It is national confidence floating on the ocean. Any threat to it feels personal. The signal repeats. Short. Silent. Sharp. Pilots in ready rooms pause mid-motion. Their helmets rest at their sides like waiting spirits. Everything inside Vikrant feels like a held breath. India built this carrier to claim independence. Now independence is being challenged. Closer to the Atlantic strength meets tradition aboard HMS Queen Elizabeth. British officers gather around a tactical display. The unknown pulse travels across the grid like a ghost in open water. The ship carries legacy as much as steel. Every generation of sailors feels their history echo through this deck, but history offers no instruction for this. The captain watches silently and nods once. Crews prepare without panic. This is what carriers represent. Stability where others may lose footing. The 3 carriers do not speak to each other yet. They do not break formation. They do not declare alarm. They simply exist in quiet readiness. Ocean wind cuts across steel decks. Jet fuel scent hangs low. Pilots wait at the edge of their seats. Every nation understands that symbols gain strength in stillness as much as action. The unknown signal repeats again. Slightly stronger. Slightly closer. It is approaching them all. France reacts first. A Rafale is rolled into position. The pilot climbs in with calm steps. No rush. No fear. Only duty sharpened into focus. Launch cruise signal. The jet ignites and rises into the sky with a roar that trembles across the water. The airframe cuts through the dawn light like a blade drawn for truth. From the deck, sailors watch the trail fade. In that streak of fire is the pride of France. The belief that their carrier stands ready for any test. India follows. A MiG fighter is armed and lifted. Vikrant was built to project confidence, not caution. The pilot knows that surveillance is not attack, but it is still the front line of national dignity. The MiG surges upward. The sound rises like a rising wave. Below it, the Indian flag flutters against wind. This is not war. This is symbolism with consequences. The jet turns toward the unknown pulse with sharp intent. The United Kingdom responds with an F-35 lifting from the deck of Queen Elizabeth. Its engines scream into the sky like history being rewritten. Stealth, precision, presence. It arcs across the horizon. 3 nations, 3 fighters, all converging on a single mysterious point. In this moment, the ocean becomes stage and aircraft carriers become actors in a play directed by uncertainty. The 3 jets begin feeding data back to their ships. Nothing appears at first. Only empty ocean and restless waves. But the signal persists. It pulses like a heartbeat. As the fighters move closer, the pulse grows clearer. It flickers at matching intervals. Too deliberate to ignore. Yet no vessel appears on radar. No aircraft, no drone. Only a signal with intent hiding behind a curtain of sea fog. Aboard Charles de Gaulle, technicians analyze wave patterns. The nuclear core hums steady. The carrier feels like a fortress adrift. They triangulate the pulse again. It is below the surface. Not above. Not around. Beneath, questions rise faster than answers. A submerged drone. A stealth submarine. A new kind of scout technology. The stakes tighten around every thought. On INS, Vikrant officers examine the same readings. The pulse aligns with no known submarine signature. No foreign navy claims experiments in this region. India recognizes danger in ambiguity. Pride demands understanding. Technology demands caution. The Indian jet circles the coordinates and lowers altitude. The pilot reports visual distortion in the water. Something is moving, something is large. HMS Queen Elizabeth receives the same aerial report. The British jet approaches the point with calculated control. The sea below ripples unnaturally. Movement patterns suggest metallic mass, but no periscope, no hull angle, no reflection. The pilot reports the impossible. Something beneath the waves is emitting a signal without exposing a single part of its structure. A modern vessel should not be capable of this. At least not openly. Radio channels spark with restrained urgency across all three carriers. They do not coordinate. They observe. They analyze. Their pride and their purpose hold them steady. If this unknown craft belongs to a rival, it represents breakthrough. If it belongs to no one, it represents disruption. And carriers exist to confront disruption before it grows. Then the water breaks. At first it is subtle, a small rise, a circular tremor. Then a dark shape pushes upward. Its outline is smooth. Its presence immense. Jet pilots watch from above with disbelief. This is no submarine design known to any navy. No sail, no tower. Only seamless metal rising like monolith born of the deep. The pulse grows louder, clearer, more deliberate. On Charles de Gaulle, alarms begin to sound. On Vikrant officers brace. On Queen Elizabeth crews rush to stations. The water lifts further. The metallic shape expands. What emerges next twists every assumption of military intelligence. A single panel on the object shifts. It opens slightly. A soft vibration moves across the water. The jets above shake. The carriers feel the resonance through their hulls. It is not an attack. It is a signal. A message being sent with impossible technology. Then the object stops. Perfectly still. Silent. Waiting. Before any nation can respond, the object emits one more pulse. Stronger than all before. Every radar display flashes white. Every screen freezes for a single heartbeat. Every jet loses instruments for a fraction of a second. The sea glows beneath the structure like liquid light. Then the object begins to sink back under the surface with deliberate calm, as if demonstration is complete. As if warning is delivered, the water folds over it, the glow fades. The signal disappears. Silence returns to the ocean. But in that silence, one alert remains active aboard all three carriers. A secondary reading unearthed from the data. A signature buried behind the primary pulse. Not threat, not code, not attack. A name. A name of a country. A name none of the three nations expected. A name that suggests this was not warning, it was invitation. The officers freeze as the translation completes. And the meaning lands like thunder. The translation settles across the three carriers like a shadow that refuses to move. One name, one nation. A nation that should not possess such technology. A nation that should not have the capability to build a craft like the one that surfaced and vanished. The screens show the same result across Charles de Gaulle, INS Vikrant, HMS Queen Elizabeth. It is almost unbelievable. Yet the data is clear. The signal is tagged with the identifier of a coastal state known for no carrier program, no nuclear development, and no advanced maritime engineering. It is a country whose navy consists of patrol boats and outdated frigates. A country whose budget cannot dream of superstructures that rise from ocean depths. The impossible stands confirmed. That name is Morocco. For a moment, disbelief takes command. Officers stare at screens as if caught between logic and fantasy. France shares deep ties with Morocco. The United Kingdom maintains historical relations. India has diplomatic familiarity. But none of these bonds explain a submerged craft with stealth resonance and disruptive pulse. None explain how or why Morocco would signal 3 of the world's most symbolic carriers. The sea feels more silent now, as if waiting for these nations to decide what this revelation means. Pride turns into suspicion. Prestige turns into caution. Carriers built to project certainty now face mystery that challenges the very concept of power. On Charles de Gaulle, the captain moves forward with steady steps. Pride anchored in French leadership is powerful, but this situation demands more than emotion. France knows the meaning of symbolism at sea. They pioneered nuclear naval presence to declare sovereignty and strength. Yet this Moroccan signal complicates the geopolitical picture. Officers run deeper diagnostics. They extract wave patterns. They compare energy levels. They discover a strange detail. The craft did not disrupt nuclear signatures. It adjusted around them, as if aware of reactor fields and avoiding interference. That is no accident. That is intentional design. Someone studied nuclear carrier operations closely. Too closely. Aboard IN's Vikrant Indian analysts uncover a second revelation. The craft emitted patterns similar to marine seismic scans, but refined to micro levels. This suggests advanced mapping technology that could locate underwater cables, subsea bases, even quiet routes of ballistic submarines. India understands the strategic weight of such capability. If Morocco truly possesses this technology, then naval balances could shift in unpredictable ways. And if Morocco does not possess it, then someone else is using Morocco's name as shield. The Indian captain senses the deeper implication. Power is no longer measured by flags alone. It is measured by whoever controls the silence under the surface. On HMS Queen Elizabeth, British technicians push the data through analytic filters. They identify harmonic distortions in the signal. They compare them with global archives. One technician freezes when a match appears. The signature resembles experimental pulses once theorized in academic papers from European research groups. Papers never meant for real deployment. Papers about cloaked hull shaping and electromagnetic field dampening. Concepts considered too expensive for any medium navy. Concepts rumored to be explored by private defense companies without official oversight. If a private entity built this machine and used Morocco as cover, the implications could shake alliances worldwide. The 3 carriers begin subtle communication. Not open, not coordinated. Just small signals exchanged through encrypted channels. Not sharing full truth. Just acknowledging shared confusion. Carriers are symbols of national pride, but now they also become guardians of global stability. None of these nations want escalation. None want panic. They simply want to know why a mysterious craft rose between them and left a single disguised signature. The ocean around them remains still. Jets circle far overhead. Pilots look down at the surface waiting for any disturbance. Nothing moves. Nothing rises. The sea hides its secrets well. France acts first again. A naval helicopter is prepared with sensor arrays. It lifts from the deck with rhythmic thrum. The blades carve lines across the sky. It descends toward the coordinates where the unknown object surfaced. The water shows no sign of disruption, only quiet waves. But as the helicopter scans the surface, a faint shimmer appears. It is like heat on pavement. A distortion of sight itself. The helicopter hovers lower. The shimmering fades, then reappears. The pilots capture the anomaly. They relay the feed to all 3 carriers. The distortion forms a circle, perfect circle. The exact size of the emerging craft. It is imprint left behind by something using technology to bend light and water around itself. INS Vikrant analyzes the distortion further. The Indian technicians detect unusual temperature gradients. Not heat, not cold, something else. An energy signature that bends rather than radiates. A pilot aboard Vikrant mentions a term long whispered between advanced research teams. A term rarely spoken outside high-clearance circles. Field warping. A concept that suggests manipulation of water pressure zones to mask or reveal structures selectively. If the unknown craft used warping to rise, it would explain the silence. The precision. The lack of conventional signatures. But this technology should not exist. Not at operational scale. And certainly not under a Moroccan identifier. HMS Queen Elizabeth prepares a submersible drone. It descends into deep water with calm grace. The screens show the downward path. Light fades. Pressure increases. The drone stabilizes and adjusts sensors. It moves toward the last known coordinates. At first it finds only empty darkness. Then it detects a faint trail, a path like electromagnetic residue. Something traveled downward, swiftly leaving behind an invisible wake. The drone follows the trail. Deeper, deeper still. The readings spike. The drone approaches a rocky shelf. And then something new appears on screen. Straight lines, not natural. The outline of something embedded into stone, or built into it. The British captain narrows his eyes. This is no submarine, no vessel. This is structure. A facility beneath the ocean surface. And the signature is identical to the one emitted earlier. Morocco could not have built this. The cost alone exceeds the budget of entire regions. Unless Morocco is being used by someone with far more capability. Someone who wants to remain hidden while projecting power using a name no one suspects. The three carriers exchange deeper signals now. This is no longer about national pride, it is threat assessment. They each deploy additional aircraft, surveillance planes, anti-sub helicopters, drones. The ocean becomes a web of detection. Every wave scanned, every depth mapped. The pride of nations fuels precision. Carriers do not fear uncertainty. They confront it. Suddenly, multiple sensors across all three ships activate at once. Another pulse appears. Not from below. Not from distance, from directly beneath them. The three carriers receive synchronized signals. This time the pulse is clearer, stronger. It reverberates through hulls like a whisper made of metal and pressure. It is message repeating 3 times. The translation begins automatically. Each ship processes it with urgency. The screens display the result. The officers lean forward. The pilots freeze. The captains pause mid-breath. The message is short, only 2 words. But the meaning shakes every deck. The words read, "We choose." Before anyone can respond, alarms ignite across all 3 carriers. A massive object begins rising directly beneath them. Not at a distance. Not near them. Under them. The sea churns. The decks rumble. The water darkens. And the shape emerging is far larger than anything they saw before. Don't forget to subscribe to Naval Pulse. What do you think the mysterious signal meant? Warning or invitation? Let us know in the comments.